Zavigalo Hope Foundation has charged stakeholders in the education sector to create a cultural environment where every child would feel valued, loved, respected, and included in decision-making processes. Chinenye Onora, project manager of the foundation, made the call at the 6th edition of the RHF 2024 EduTech Conference held in commemoration of the International Day for Education in Lagos. She said the call became necessary as inclusion education would go a long way to reduce inequality, social exclusion, discrimination, but empower the people to recognize and value their unique abilities. Joining us live in our studios is Oreoluwa Abiodun, who is a dedicated partnership and communication strategist at Regalo Hope Foundation. Thank you for joining us, Oreoluwa.
Thank you for having me, Yara.
Okay, during the International Day, of Education, your foundation's theme on that day was learning for lasting peace. Can you expand on that?
Okay, thank you so much once again for having me here. So during the International Day of Education, which we call the EduState Conference, coined from two words, educational stakeholders. So the theme was actually uniting for inclusive education, but the global theme for the International Day of Education was learning for lasting peace. So uniting for inclusive education, to us, what it means is that we're pushing for inclusion, because inclusion is a bedrock for diversity. Inclusion, sponsors diversity. So we're looking for an environment, or we're pushing for an environment where every child can feel included, despite their abilities or disabilities or special needs. We're looking for a classroom where every child can feel loved, they can feel accepted, and there is that communication. There is no breach in that communication between the special needs children and the, in quote, normal children. So at the EduState Conference, we brought together educational stakeholders. This conference was partnered. We had partners such as Rights Foods Limited, 13th Avenue Co Limited, Byteview Technologies. So we brought together educational stakeholders to drive this inclusive text, right? To drive this inclusive word to them. We created this conference to be able to empower them with the right insights. So when I talk about educational stakeholders, I'm talking about from students, that's secondary, tertiary institution students, to educators, school proprietors, to community leaders, and even the government, because we believe that these four key stakeholders play a vital role in education. So we hope to drive this message so that they are able to pick it and then they are able to run with it.
Did you have teachers in that conference as well?
Yes, we did have.
Okay,
yes,
so your focus this year is on education.
Yes.
So your foundation said inclusive education will go a long way to reduce inequality. Yes. Can you expatiate on that?
Okay, so we believe that education is not just a privilege. Education should be a fundamental right to everyone and anyone. And then, like I mentioned, inclusive education is bringing together everyone together so that everyone can have a part in education. What we have these days is like a segregation. So we have maybe people with special abilities learning in one place and then the normal children, in quote, learning in another center. But we want to bring all of these people in one classroom so that the people with the special needs or illnesses, in quotes, can also feel loved. They can feel accepted. They can have that high self-esteem. They can be able to interact with people, yes. And then Regalo Hope Foundation, in terms of education, we also run programs such as digital training, youth development workshop. And this year, one of the major goals that we have is to take the youth development workshop that we run to tertiary institutions, because we've always had this program run in our resource and learning center, but because of the seating capacity and the number of impact we want to reach this year, we're taking it to campuses. So the youth development workshop is actually designed to equip young people with the right skill sets, interpersonal communication skills, leadership skills, soft skills, so that they can stay relevant, so that they can be able to compete, so that they can be able to thrive in the marketplace.
Okay, so you're saying that basically the special needs children do not need special schools.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So if they don't need special schools, do you think that they're going to have the same impactful education as the kids without special needs when they're in the same environment?
Yes, so one of the solutions we prefer to this during the conference was that policies should be signed, first off, by the government to encourage this for institutions, for schools, secondary schools, and tertiary institutions. And then also, coming down to the schools and communities, they should be open-minded to accept these children. They should be able to take extra hands, extra professional hands. They should be able to employ therapists to be able to help this course, so that these children are able to learn at the same pace with every other child.
Okay, so what can you say about uniting for inclusive education and how it can be implemented?
Okay, so like I mentioned, one of the implementation is government policies.
Policies, yes.
Secondly, schools being open-minded to this, because we started off with an educators seminar that we had, where we just had only educators and teachers, but then we had to bring up this conference to be able to reach, you know, the media, to reach the press, so that they can help us carry this information. We also had government representatives in this conference. So we believe that every institution should come together to unite, because most times when we talk about inclusion, it's just a thing of the mouth. Like, there's no real action coming into play. So we want actions. We want actions this year, starting from this year, right? We want action so that everyone can come together to foster inclusion.
Okay.
In education.
So have you thought about, you know, having teachers who have special education for the special kids? Because, you know, special kids need more attention, more care, and a certain syllabus that will suit them at their pace.
Yes, so one of the many things that we also mentioned at the conference was a review of the curriculum.
Okay.
A review of the curriculum by the government. And one of the panelists is a diversity, inclusion, and belonging strategist. So she pushed for that, right? Okay. She has 3 inclusive centers that she runs. So she also pushed for that we should look at the curriculum,
yes,
so that it can accommodate those special needs children, so that they can also learn at the same pace.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, good work you're doing. Best
you.
Of luck. See you and then the Ministry of Education, because I know that they will be in charge of this.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hello. Hope you enjoyed the news. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to hit the notification button so you get notified about fresh news updates.